Thanks for tuning in to ND Golf. I'm Nicholas Devine out here on the third hole at Lake Karrinyup Country Club. Now today we have a special treat for you. We're going to be putting the Mevo Plus, the new launch monitor from Flightscope, up to the test. Now we're going to put it up against what I would consider my favorite launch monitor, and that's the GC Quad. Now let's actually see if the numbers of this much cheaper model, so we're talking $3,500 AUD in comparison to close to $25,000 AUD, and see if the numbers come up close, because this could become one of those teaching aids or training aids that you might want to invest in. Now, if it does work as well as they say it will, this could potentially be a SkyTrack killer. Now, I am a massive SkyTrack fan and I've got my own SkyTrack, but this does work in direct sunlight, and this also does work on the driving range, where the SkyTrack, when there's grass interaction, it doesn't work. So you could potentially take this with you onto the driving range and practice it, but you can also use this at home in your own simulator. It has the functions to do that. It even does putting, or has putting software coming. So let's actually just hit some drives. This is going to be a quick review. I'm going to do a much more in-depth review much later on, after I've done probably close to a couple of months of testing with it. But like I said, let's see how close it gets to the quad, because it might be just that teaching aid or training aid that you need. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you how to set up this unit. It is extremely easy to do. When you look at the box, the box that the actual unit comes inside, there's a QR code on the back of that. Get your phone, go to your camera, go to the QR code, highlight it. That's going to take you to where you need to download the app for your mobile device. Then on the back of the unit, there is also another QR code, just here. Again, get your camera device. Once you've downloaded the app, get your QR code again, scan that with your camera function of your mobile device, and then it will automatically pair with your mobile device. It can't get any simpler than that. When it comes to setting it up on the ground, there is a little clamp or a little device that goes over the top of it to make sure that you get the correct angles, whether you're hitting a driver or you're doing putting. Again, making it simplified and extremely easy to do. And then you just need to remember that it needs to be roughly 7 feet behind you. Now, if you have an extremely quick swing speed, I would suggest 8 feet. And that's probably the only thing so far that I can honestly say SkyTrack has got up on this. If you're practicing at home and you have a very confined space, SkyTrack works extremely well. But if you've got a little bit of room and you can set this device behind you, then Flightscope Mevo Plus is definitely the device for you. The other reason why this has one up on SkyTrack is simply because of the fact you can actually use this in direct sunlight, like I'm in right now. So you can actually take this to the driving range and know and have confidence that it's going to work. The other thing is with SkyTrack, when grass starts flying, so if you're hitting off the driving range and you're hitting off a grass driving range and you're hitting balls, as soon as the grass goes up, SkyTrack's numbers go all over the place, whereas with Mevo, grass has no effect on it whatsoever. One last thing to remember, if you are using this device at home and you're hitting it into a net, you do need to attach these little grey dots to the golf ball and make sure that that grey dot is pointing at the target. You do not want to be hitting that grey dot with your golf club, because it will come off. So you do need to make sure that the dot is facing forward, and from what I could see, the dots don't come off and they last quite a while. So it has really good effect with spin numbers when using it inside. Now, this is only going to be a short review because we're only going to be testing it out here on the third hole at Lake Karrinyup. I will do a much more in-depth review of the Flightscope Mevo Plus when I've had it for about a month and I've done some extensive testing. Anyway, let's put it up against the quad. Let's see what the numbers look like out here. Now, just remember, the quad is a closed parameter, whereas the Mevo Plus is open parameter. So wind does take a little bit of effect when it comes to numbers on here. But it's really important to make sure that we get roughly the same spin numbers and we get close to the same average distance. This has so many parameters in comparison to the little Mevo. The Mevo Plus has a lot more parameters. The big thing for me here with this one is angle of attack. It gives you AOA, and that's going to give you a lot of information with regards to, especially when you're hitting your driver, which I'm about to do right now. Angle of attack to me is really, really important, because if you have a negative angle of attack, you're not going to get the most potential out of your driver unless you have extreme swing speeds. But angle of attack for me is extremely, extremely important. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. I could talk all day. Let's actually get into hitting and actually see how the numbers compare between the Mevo Plus and the GC Quad. Something worth 4 grand comparison to something that's worth 25 grand. Okay, so when setting up the Flightscope Mevo, the really good thing here, like other Flightscope radars, is you can actually align it with your target. As you can see from the screen coming up right now, it is very, very simple to do. So we're on the 3rd hole, so we're gonna set it up aiming at the bunker on the right-hand side. Perfect, we can hit start new session. And now, just remember here, there is one function here, as you can see me mucking around the screen, sleep timeout. It's set really short, so that means the battery can last a long time. I think it was on like 20 seconds. Make sure you bring that out to 118 seconds or it's going to drive you nuts. Make sure you set it into outdoor mode. Like you can see there, you've got indoor and short indoor. You can see the radar tilts there at 18.9 and the roll at 0.5. So as much as you can, you want to try and get the roll as flat as you possibly can. 0.5 a degree is pretty good. And then, like I said, just increase the sleep timer to a little bit longer. Perfect. Now, great thing is with this, like you can see coming up on the screen right now, you can actually quietly, you can pair this with your camera and it records at the same time as you're hitting shots. We're not going to use that function today, but if you've got what they've got called the golf selfie, you can put that on a tour stick behind you and then you can start recording your shots as well as getting the numbers of your shots. I actually might try that first. Let's just have a go with that before we actually put it up against the quad. Okay, so here we go. Here's my tour stick and here's my golf selfie. Golf selfie attaches to the tour stick pretty simple. Bob's your uncle like that. Guess if you put it 8 feet behind you, it's the same thing.
Carry is 241.1 yards.
So you can see all the numbers coming up on the screen, the swing, everything from down the line. You can even draw on it, like so. You can put circles on it. You can do all sorts of things. Get rid of the lines, get rid of the circles. But the ability of, I guess, self-learning is pretty amazing with this. Anyway, let's actually look at the numbers. We can put it up against the quad now and see what we've got. Okay, let's actually get into the hitting now. I've got the quad fired up. I've got the Mevo fired up. Let's hit some balls down the 3rd hole here at Karrinyup and see how the numbers compare between the two. Okay, not too bad down the middle. Now let's actually look at the numbers difference between the two. Okay, so 108 versus 101. Now I've always been critical of quad when it came to this because I don't think I swing it at 108. 101.9 seems to be a little bit more of a realistic number when it comes to me. Now carry with the quad 231, carry with the Mevo 220.3, club efficiency 1.40 on the quad, club efficiency on the Mevo 1.47, spin numbers 2479 versus 2513, so pretty close when it comes to spin numbers. Let's go again. At least I'm hitting the middle of the fairway today. Okay, I didn't hit that one as well. So 108 versus 103, 218 on the carry, 214 on the carry. Spin numbers very much the same, 3488 on the Mevo, 3490 on the GC Quad. Smash factor a little bit less efficient off the GC Quad in comparison to the Mevo. Not bad, I can honestly say a lot of the numbers are sort of matching up. let's grab a couple more balls and have a few more hits. Over the place. Anyway, let's go again. Why can't I hit it like this all the time? Not missing many fairways today. Okay, let's look at the numbers again. 2964 with the Mevo 3079, so spin numbers very much are similar again. Club head speed 104 versus 107, ball speed 152 versus 150. So again, numbers extremely close. I mean, carry 230 on the GC quad. Remember, that's closed parameter, whereas 223 is with an open parameter, so the wind is taking a little bit of effect, and it is slightly into us here on the third hole. All right, couple more hits. Again, down the middle. Loving this today. All right, let's look at the numbers again. 105 versus 105, so numbers match up with regards to club head speed. Ball speed 153, 152.4. Spin numbers 3137 versus 3083 on the Mevo. Carry 223 versus 229. I am absolutely blown away by how good this is actually doing. Unbelievable. All right, one more ball. Last one. Again, down the middle, can't complain. Let's look at the numbers on the last shot. 107 club head speed to 104 club head speed, 228 carry on the quad, 224 carry on the Mevo. Spin numbers 3257 versus 3263. Smash factor 1.46 on the Mevo to 1.43 on the quad. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't actually say enough about this unit. Flightscope Mevo Plus, unbelievable. You could see the numbers, they came up on the screen, so it was every shot that I hit, almost identical on spin numbers to the GC quad, and for me, that is massive. The fact that carry distances were almost exactly the same when we're talking about an open parameter launch monitor in comparison to a closed parameter launch monitor. Spin numbers were the same. Club head speeds were a little bit different, but I've always said that with quad. My club head speed's always been a little bit quicker on quad in comparison to a lot of other devices that I use. I am roughly around the 104 to 105 mark. Sometimes I get the odd 107 to 108 on the quad, even 111. But overall numbers with regards to total distance, spin, launch angles, smash factors, ball speed, club head speed were almost exactly the same. So if you're looking for a unit that's going to help you improve your game, is going to help you improve your training regime, if you want to get a unit that you can use at home, especially in these times we are going through at this time right now when I'm doing this video called COVID-19. You might not know what that is whenever you watch this video, but if you're looking for a launch monitor that's going to give you good, efficient, effective and trustworthy numbers for what I would say 4,000 Australian dollars, then the Flightscope Mevo Plus is for you. Now, if you're looking to get your hands on one of these launch monitors, there is a link down below to go to an online store called 24/7 Golf. Now, it is for anyone around the world except for US customers. If you're a US customer and you're watching this video, you need to go through your US suppliers. But everyone else around the world, you can actually click the link below and it will take you directly to their online store. Now, I do not get any funding at all from me doing this video. I am just helping out a friend who is selling these in Australia. So make sure if you want, you get your hands on one of these launch monitors, and I am saying they're gonna go extremely quick with how effective they are, as you could see in comparison to a GC Quad, which I said for me is the most trusted launch monitor. These are going to be amazing. So get your hands on a Flightscope Mevo Plus, links down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. Subscribing's free to do, and we'll see you again sometime soon, hopefully on ND Golf.